Hello, hello, hello. So, it's run day today. It's training for the London Marathon. So I just took my hair out, ponytail. I'm going to put it back in again. So it's cold, it's grey, it's kind of drizzly, not quite raining, but looks like it's going to. How does somebody who doesn't like cold weather, is still getting into the swing of running, needs to run 26 miles on the 26th of April, and at the moment is running about 3 miles consistently. That's it at the moment. How do you get into the groove of doing the run? Now, in a way, this video isn't really about how to run. This video is about how to do stuff when you really aren't feeling it. It's about the sorts of things I share when I have these private conversations with clients and they say, oh, this is really challenging at the moment. They often say to me things like, I feel really overwhelmed at the moment. I've just got so much on. I don't know what to do first. They say to me, I'm finding frustrations with my team. They say to me, I'm telling people to do stuff and they're just not getting it, just not doing it. They're telling me things like, I've got this really bad relationship with it could be boss, co-worker, or somebody else at work. And whatever is, whatever's going on for them, it feels like a bit of a struggle. So the first thing to say is acknowledge that struggle. Don't just try and gloss it over the moment it comes up as being something that's quote unquote bad. Look at it for what it is. Like, I tend to ask myself, what's this really about? What's this really about? I also encourage coaching clients to answer that question. But you know what? If I'm walking down the street or I'm at a supermarket, one of the Vibes Tribers contact me and I challenge them with that, I don't have their permission. So in the same way that when you ask yourself that question, have that permission. If you're feeling down, low, agitated, frustrated about something, sometimes that's too quick a question to ask. It's too early on to ask. Give yourself the permission to feel whatever you're feeling. Don't wallow. Let yourself feel it, but don't wallow in it. So once you've kind of got to grips with however you're feeling, and if you're anything like me, you're probably sick and tired of feeling frustrated, angry, or whatever. Then ask yourself, what's this really about? And listen for the answer. Now, that sounds a weird thing to say when you're talking to yourself, but listen for the answer. Because the answer that normally comes up first is the one that we tend to push back. No, that doesn't sound right. That can't be logical. I've done a lot of personal development. I'm into forgiveness, or I've done a lot of things and I'm really patient with people, or I like to help people. And we squash down whatever comes up first. So don't do that. Ask yourself the question and trust what comes up. It may seem random, even though it's coming from inside of you. So trust that. Then there's a few practical things that we can do to get ourselves going, get ourselves motivated, get ourselves on it. And this is where I'm going to give the running as an example, because I'm about to do this now. So the first thing I did when I woke up this morning was I fueled my body, because one of the excuses I tell myself as I'm running is, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I knew I should have had more to eat. I've got no fuel in the tank and all of those things. So no get out clause. I get my, this morning it was chocolate porridge made with coconut milk. So it's a bit like a Bounty flavoured porridge, but I had that. And I gave myself kind of half an hour. In fact, I gave myself more than that, about 45 minutes I gave myself. So I don't have to go, oh, now I'm too full to run, or no excuses. The next thing I did was I watched something that was motivating to me. Doesn't have to be motivating to anyone else, doesn't have to be called even a motivating video, but I watched something that was motivating to me. And now I've watched that, it's got my motivational juices flowing. It was only like a 4-minute video, but it was a good motivator to me. And then because of the channel that I was watching this video on, I thought, you know what, let me blast out a few tunes. So my tunes of choice, and I have to give a big shout out to Koogar Marketing, who's on here, Amanda, who I know is probably networking as I speak. I have to give a big shout out to her because I sent her a message this morning, and because of the message that I'd sent, there were a couple of words in there that sprung off a tune. And the tunes of choice for me this morning, and they could differ from day to day, hour to hour, our 70s disco tunes. So we had a bit of Get Down on it. And then there were a few others that I kind of sent on and said, what about this? So we're firmly rooted in our 70s kind of disco-y type stuff. So I listened to the music. You know, the music has the ability to change how we're feeling about stuff. So that was another thing I did. The next thing I'm going to do now is put all my kit on, get all my stuff ready, make sure I've got my key so I don't lock myself out, and get ready to go. And what I will do as I go along, in terms of my mindset, which has had to be the biggest thing that I've had to overcome in doing this journey to stop myself from stopping or giving up, the biggest thing that I will do now is I will either listen to some music or an audio book, or what I'll do is I'll use it as thinking time, because now, rather than thinking, oh, it's cold, or now I'm warming up, or my knees ache, or I'm out of breath, or any of that, I can start to go into a zone. And in fact, on my last run, where I did a 35-minute run, actually, I kept saying 30 run, but 35-minute run, which was kind of a 3-mile run, 5K run, so still a short distance. When I was doing that, when it came to stop, I realised I felt like I could have just kept going. I didn't, because I don't want to train myself to be injured, but I felt like I could just keep going. So why is it important for me to share that? Whether it's something that you don't like doing, like tax return, the paperwork, the spreadsheet, the meeting notes, the transcription, the walking in the rain, the picking the kids up, the having everyone else's kids around the house, the housework, the hoovering, the decluttering. It could be anything that you don't like to do. If you can get yourself in the zone, in the right state of mind to get that started, what will happen is not only will you start going, but you will keep going and continue going to the point where, before you know it, you will come to a point where you're like, actually, this is okay. You might not be going, woohoo, I love it, but you'll be saying, this is okay, or this feels systematic, or I'm nearly at the end, I'm halfway through, I'm 3/4 of the way through. And before you know it, boom, it's done. If you want any more motivational tips, do have a look at the video that I put out on Monday. I gave you, I think it was 5 M's, which was an accident because they just all began with M, but 5 M's to help get you motivated. And I've had so much feedback on that video, both publicly and privately, to say thank you so much for sharing it. So if you haven't seen it, go to the IGTV if you're on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, just subscribe to my channel, Jenny Kovacs, and you'll be able to find a copy of that video there. And I believe I might even have shared it with the lovely folk of LinkedIn. So if you want a quick motivation, just go and find those. Wherever you're watching this video, just send me a message if you can't find it and I'll get a link out to you. I won't talk at you because I'll be running and panting like that, which is never a good look. So that's it for now. Just thought I would share some of the things that I do before I go running, which actually help me to do all manner of things. The decluttering, the paperwork, the accounts, and all the things that I might be like, oh my gosh, you know. And I find that once I get into it, I really get into it, and the passion and enthusiasm comes back. So if you've got something that you do, it might be a bit unusual, that helps you get going, keep going, do share it in the comments below. I'd love to know what it is. I'd love to hear it. Bye for now.